Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Entropia content. Sorry my voice is a little bit deeper. I've decided to record the show a little bit earlier today, a little bit more on the ball. I got a whole bunch of other recording I want to finish, so figured I'll get the Entropia show done really nice and early. Ooh, looks like we got an auction item already. It didn't sell, but maybe another bid. Oh, we got an existing bid for the Lulu's stone. That's pretty sweet. I hope someone buys it. What did I put the Bowed at? 40 pen. Now usually when I put a low bid like that, I'm hoping maybe someone will just get tired waiting and buy it out. I'm hoping that happens. Right, so today, or yesterday after I closed up the show, can't remember, did I land on Next Ellen for you guys? Can't recall. But anyways, after I landed, I started collecting a little bit of sweat. I was going to do the daily mission for mining, but I figured I would wait until you guys were back. And did I start the mission? Let me check. I remember going to the mission broker and it was saying that it should be a different daily mission. I didn't sign up for the Lesser Elijah crafting one. That's kind of annoying. Wonder how that happened. Maybe I did and just did it by accident, or did and forgot. Probably did and forgot. Heck, maybe since I have it set on Lesser Elijah, I should go and try that out. See if I can have any luck doing that. I did just land on the planet. I got 120 sweat last night. I didn't see any minerals, so I better keep an eye out. Could be some more today. Now I hope everyone's doing well. Oh yeah, we got a bunch of questions in the chat from the video yesterday about the Riverside shirts. A lot of people are asking if it's too late to sign up and get the Riverside shirts. And I recommend messaging Bonnie or Next Island to find out. Probably at Next Island first. You don't want to bug Bonnie to hell, but I think Bonnie seems to be really on the ball when it comes to what's happening here, so if you can't get a hold of Next Island support, maybe ask her. Or maybe try contacting Riverside University and asking them. I was going to try, but I got carried away with my other projects. I know I've promised to be doing a bunch. Hey, let's say hi to the sweaters while I'm here. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Is he dry? Yeah. Hey everybody. I hope no one's trying to kill. Now some of the comments someone put too is that they really like the turret design. They're like, yeah, having a turret shoot arrows in ancient Greece, that's a nice little touch. Well, it looks like no one here is I'll be back. I'll be back. No, I was lucky. When I was a teenager in film school and high school, they got us to watch all the Terminator movies because they're like, yeah, these movies are actually made extremely well when it comes to like filmmaking techniques. So we got to watch them all like over and over again too. It's kind of neat. Now it's pretty sad. I wish I paid more attention. Well, I think film school was a lot different back then than you would have today. Because back then they didn't have YouTube or anything and vlogging didn't exist. And I was thinking, man, I wonder what film school is like when you go these days. They probably teach you how to edit with computers rather than slicing tape. Back in my day, we used to buy drugs from gangs. Now we can just buy it from the government. But not this month, because I'm doing Sober October. No, yesterday was bad. I don't know, well, I think I was jonesing because I got hit with the fucking THC in my fat cells. Starting to make me jones again. When I got a little touch of what it was like to have a buzz again. But actually today, didn't jones at all when I woke up. Haven't even bothered looking at the vaporizer. So I think maybe I worked a lot of the THC out of the fat, hopefully. The only thing, one part of me was looking at the calendar going, wow, it's like it's already the 7th. It's like, Well, I guess this is a long month. We should have picked a shorter month for Sober October. But anyways, yeah, it's a short month, or a long month, but I was thinking, geez, it's actually not long enough for my liking, because I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to get done while I'm sober, and I was like, I haven't even finished half of it yet, so I still got a long way to go. Oh, here's the guy. Say hi to him. Who is it? It's Divisitive. I can't say his name, that's the best I tried. Right, Crystal Peak. This is nice. I've been in X Island so much that I'm actually remembering everything now. Howdy! Right, I think I was talking about something, got distracted there. Oh, she's got nice clothes. Hey, he came to the same location. What do you know? Look how fast he is, eh? He must have the, what is it called, that ring that's perfected for speed. Yeah, someone was putting in the comments that if you combine a whole bunch of speed items, that they won't actually all work when you have them equipped, that your speed is actually capped at a certain point. I'm like, is that true? Because I was thinking about buying the speed ring perfected, but now I'm like, wait, should I buy it? He's saying that it'll be capped out anyways. Okay, I don't think I'll be finishing the Lesser Eliza crafting run because I probably don't have the materials to do so. Well, check it out. Holy cow, lots of people here this morning. Oh, wave high too. Alright, what was I gonna check? Yeah, storage. I wonder what all these people are crafting for. Maybe vehicles, trying to get those, whatever those ones were called. Yeah, I only got enough for fucking 14 clicks. That ain't good. What am I low on? Listerium. Alright, so I'll go do a couple of them. Oh, wait. I might have Listerium. Oh, I was thinking I'll do the mining mission and try to get some Listerium. But when I do that, I won't be getting those. Yeah, so let's do a mining run and do a little bit fucking different than last time. This time I'll do one instead of end matters. I'll do it for whatever rocks are matter. Alright, so how do I fix this again? I have to go to the mission log, cancel the daily mission that's wrong. Yeah, so if anyone's wondering why they can't get the daily mining mission, it's probably because you already took another daily mission and it's fucking it over so that you can't take the next one. Oh my god, I still can't talk to her. What the hell's going on? Oh man, this is really annoying me. Is the daily mission over? What's going on? God, this is really annoying. Maybe I didn't cancel the mission? What happened there? Really sucks, because man, I was looking forward to doing this daily mining mission when I got back to Next Island and nothing but problems. They really got to fix this so that it works properly. Oh, here it is. I do already have it. They call it multi-faction daily. Oh, I get it. I wasn't looking for a word to start with M. I was looking for daily. So that's a shame. I probably shouldn't have canceled that fucking daily Lesser Elijah one, but maybe it's still somewhere here. Now I probably won't be able to get it back because I canceled it. No, it says it's a daily. I don't get it. Isn't she the one that gives the daily crafting? Fuck man, this is so confusing. I wish I had some weed to blame it on. No, I've got tons of weed, but just can't vaporize it right now. I'm enjoying the sober October. It was a little stressful at the beginning, but anything difficult or anything worth doing is difficult in the beginning. Right, so where am I going to go? Oh yeah, I need some shit before I can even go. Do I have any probes? I highly doubt it. Oh, I do, eh? 6 peds worth. Okay, that's not so bad. Let's try her out. So does anyone know where a good place to get some Listerium on Next Island? Let's try here and work my way north. The sand. I kind of like the sand. I can find shit easier. Now, yesterday I was getting into the ancient mystery stuff quite a bit. I just decided to share some of my secrets to immortality. Now, there's an old saying that the ancient immortals, they really hate like regular mortals, and they don't want any of us to get into to heaven or the home of the immortals because it's already packed with people, and they don't want any more people there. Sort of like they're very anti-migration of people that aren't immortal. So I think what happened on the Earth in the olden days is some people found out the ritual in order to transform into an immortal, and then they were trying to get into the home of the immortals, and then the immortals didn't like it. They're like, holy shit, these people found out the ritual, now they're transforming into light beings and making it and fucking trying to invade our place. They don't have enough room. So what their plan was is they had to send some of their priests or magi to distract the people so that they would never do the ritual again. And one of the elements of the ritual was sacrificing oxen, cows, those type of things. So they had to ban killing cows. So it's interesting how some countries still have that ban in effect. That's preventing them from accessing the immortal home. And then one of the other things they did is they tried to trick everyone to thinking they could make it into heaven or the immortal home without transforming. And you may have heard the story of that before. Not to say like to ruin on anyone's religion, maybe Jesus was right, but I kind of wonder if he got tricked. Because you know when nice guys are around, they usually get taken advantage of, right? Alright, so this place really sucks. I don't think I'll be able to mine here. There's too many fucking pigs. So let's get the fuck out of this shithole. Now, if anyone wants to post in the comments below if they got a hold of Riverside and if you can still sign up, win the ped, and get the shirts. If I had to guess, no, because Next Island was saying that they already bought out Riverside because Riverside was not going to pay out the money or the shirts until all the surveys were done, and they weren't anywhere close to the amount of surveys they needed. So then Next Island just decided to, hey, let's pay them out so that the players can get the rewards. So I could be right or wrong about that. I don't know if anyone wants to check it out. Oh yeah, I got some other really cool comments in the chat. I'll get to those in a second. It's like maybe an ice area, but is there any ice areas here? Yeah, let's try around Shadow Rock. Remember I had the almost Hall of Fame here? Or global for mini finders? And I was kind of disappointed with that. They really should come up with like a mini global. I think I recommended that to them. Maybe they got it in the works. Now, one of the other guys was posting a really cool comment. I liked his comment best of all. Because when people put negative, well, I don't know, maybe he wasn't trying to be negative and I just interpreted it that way, but he actually gave me some pretty positive feedback compared to what I usually get, or interesting feedback. Now, he was saying that isn't it ironic or funny that the guy that, or fitting, did he say? That the guy that's vape or smoking out of a plastic bottle is in favor of China. Any of my friends watching the show would be like, what? You're getting accused of being in favor of China? It's because most days when I talk about China, I'm actually a little bit overly critical, which maybe I shouldn't be, because as much as China's got some good and bad things going on, I shouldn't just focus on just one. Hey, what's going on here? I want to search for minerals. I can't tell what it's set on. Can I turn that off? What's going on? Oh, there we go. energy matter, treasure, or rock. What am I searching for? I can't tell. I don't know, like the makers of this game, could they change this so that I can tell what setting I'm putting it on? Like, there's nothing. Okay, so if I hit the probe, will it do nothing? Alright, select a resource. There we go, 2. That's what I was trying to do. I don't know, before I was picking that and it said 1, right? The hell was with that? Maybe we should go all out and do a run? Or no, that's too much. Okay, I got it down, I think. This is this one. See, the colors are so similar to the off and on buttons that I can't tell which is which. Now, I've noticed that in some other video games. Sometimes it'll be like, choose yes or no, pick one or the other if you want to continue. Then they'll put the choices like green and yellow. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to know which is choosing it, green or yellow, right? Like, it could be either to choose it. It's like they assume that you know what color it is to choose it. Alright, come on, Listerium. Which, I'm looking for Listerium and it looks like I already canceled the mission. I won't even be able to do it. Fuck. No, so the guy was posting comments, yeah, that he thinks I was very overly positive of China. And normally I'm always ripping on China, so yeah, that's why I was trying to mix it up a little. So I was thinking that was so neat to get accused of being too favoritist to China. It's like, see, anyone who's giving me a hard time about being mean to China. It's like I'm actually getting yelled at for being positive to China as well. See, that's what I think. Maybe that's why everyone's like so politically like one-sided, is because you don't want to be like neutral about something or in the middle, because then you end up getting yelled at by twice as many people. At least if you're really one-sided, then you only get yelled at from one side of the argument. I don't know, I'm so used to doing the paranormal stuff and getting made fun of that it really doesn't bother me when people yell and make fun of me. It kind of wore off about 10 years ago. Now, I guess some days it does bug me a little. Usually when I wake up early in the morning it does more so. Oh, there we are. A tiny 2, and it's Listerium. Woohoo! Oh yeah, and then the plastic bottle thing. I'll tell the whole story about that. Yeah, that was a good point as well. Because actually the main reason that I did all the modifications to the Extreme Q Vaporizer is normally I like only smoking out of glass. I can't stand plastics, rubbers, ceramics, anything like that. So what I did is I modified the Extreme Q to take out every rubber piece or plastic piece, switched it to all glass, and the cooling coil from what is that place, Storks and Bixel or whatever, the volcano company from Germany. They make a really good coil out of metal that's good for vaporizing. So I was like, if the Germans are doing it, it must be pretty good. Like high quality. And then as I went on, I took that attachment and I was like, great, all the plastic rubber's gone. And then I started hooking it up to a giant glass bong. And then it was like a triple chamber percolator bong. Freaking sweet. The only issue I had with that is the percolator kept getting filled with the vapor oil. And then the vapor oil would collect in it, and it's so sticky. There's no way you can get it out, even with rubbing alcohol or anything. It actually turns to the consistency of, roofing tar. So if anyone's ever had roofing tar all over their hands and they realize there's nothing they can wash it with to get it off, except for one thing. The only thing that'll work. You could spend months with soaps or alcohols, anything. Nothing will dissolve it. And there's only one thing that will. Can you guess? It's a petrol product. Gasoline. Yeah, so gasoline is the only thing that can clean it out. So I'm like, fuck man, do I really want to be taking my good bongs, these glass ones, and soaking them in gasoline? Because even though you can like clean all it out, then it always has that like hint of gas fumes. It's like, fuck man, I don't want that. That's even worse than plastic and rubber. So I had to find like a happy medium where it's like, fuck man, it's like, I'm not really going to get around this unless I I can just throw out the bong each time and not have to use gasoline to clean it. So then I realized that a Gatorade bottle or Powerade or whatever name brand sport drink, it's a very solid bottle for a plastic bottle, so that it's resistant to like bleeding its chemicals, like the different shit that's in plastic. So I tried to pick the least plastic bleeding the least chemical bleeding plastic I could find. And then once it gets dirty with vapor oil, I can just throw it out in the garbage and use a new one. And then people are wondering, oh, that's so mean. It's like you should be, well, I guess technically I could put the ball in recycling. But I don't know if anyone heard, like, I know I was talking to Colwyn about this when we were sweating the one day. She was bragging about how Sweden is recycling all their plastic and that they almost produce no waste because they're recycling everything. But you may not have heard in your countries, but it turned out that the entire global recycling program turned out to be a scam. And Canada discovered it, 2 or 3 years ago. And what happened is our sorting facilities, you know, like if you work at a recycling plant, you have to sort through all the plastics and take out stuff that's not really recyclable and sort it. What happened is the union workers couldn't afford to pay their own employees anymore, so they had to start using temp workers because the unions keep striking to the point where they fucking raise the cost so high that they bankrupt the business. So yeah, that's what happened is they had to start hiring temp workers. Or not temp workers, yeah, like temp service workers, the ones that are really like easy to get but not the highest quality workers. Oh, here's some fruit. Picked up Bombardo, no resources. Right, so anyways, that's what happened was when the temp workers started working, they weren't sorting the plastic as well. So some of it was getting mixed up and they were adding plastics that shouldn't, other materials were getting mixed in, and even some of the plastic wasn't cleaned enough. They're supposed to clean the plastic before they recycle it. So what broke the whole mystery is when the companies, like our country was sending it, like you probably don't even know this, but every country that recycles doesn't actually have plastic recycling plants. No such plant exists anywhere on the planet. But what we were tricked into thinking is that they existed in Asia. So there were some countries in Asia that were taking like billions of dollars in handouts from our government to help recycle this plastic, and they were just burning it. So I was like, how they found out is that these Asian companies weren't complaining that we weren't sorting it. And so some of the supervisors realized this and like, hey guys, what's going on? Like, we just traced our fucking supplies and we found out we sent you a whole bunch of shit that was wrong and you never complained about it. And guess what their response was? They admitted that they actually don't care if you sort it or not because they're just burning it all. I was like, oh, so that's how our recycling has been going. Yeah, so what did the Canadian government do? Is they're like, oh shit, like, now we got these recycling programs so we can't send all the waste to Asia. Oh yeah, that was the thing. You ever hear on the news how Asia started complaining about some of the trash that Canada was sending? And that was the thing, like, that was part of it too. That some of the Asian companies were like, hey man, Canada's got to stop sending us all their plastic for us to burn it because it's fucking over our environment here. Like, their air pollution's getting worse. And meanwhile, everyone in America is like, oh, we're so environmentally friendly. We create all these plastic wastes that are always recycled and reused. Meanwhile, none of it was. That's the thing with good intentions, right? Gotta really watch those. When someone's got good intentions, probably the most dangerous thing you could have. It's because good intentions make you make dumb decisions that end up fucking backfiring. Not to say all good intentions are going to do that, but probably 99% of them. Alright, here's some Belker. 22. Yeah, so that's when I realized that when I was like creating plastic waste, I'm like, well, it's not that bad because really, yeah, that's what Canadian government started doing now, is they're actually just burying all the plastic. So we don't ship it to Asia anymore to get burned in factories that are pretending to recycle it. We just bury it now. So then people are starting to wonder, it's like, well, if we bury all of our plastic in recycling, like why the hell do we still have a blue blocks program that's sorting everything if it's just all getting buried anyway? And you know why? Because the union's still collecting money from it. So I was like, yeah, they want to keep this recycling program going so they can keep padding their union pockets, which I don't blame them. If you got family and kids and you want a union job, you're doing what you got to do to keep your family afloat, right? You don't want to be one of those suckers that works for a regular job and has to pay the union fees and go broke doing it. Or pay the union salaries for them. Yeah, so that's the state of our recycling program in Canada now. We're getting ripped off by the union who's fucking taking all our tax money, pretending to fucking sort shit, and then just burying it all. It's really quite a funny situation. I shouldn't laugh because it's kind of mean, but I can't help it. It's just funny. Yeah, so if your country is still telling you that they recycle shit, ask to see where these recycling plants are, so you can take pictures of like them recycling plastic. Now there was a big clue too, like when I was a kid, they started putting the recycling symbol in a number, right? And the number was like how easy it is to recycle that type of plastic. And then I started to realize that too. It's like you could mix the numbers up to the point where you're giving them plastic that they really can't recycle, and they wouldn't care. They would just put it in the bins with the other plastic and ship it off to Asia. So that was the big clue right there. Is that whole number system, people weren't getting reamed out when they were breaking it. Because it didn't matter either way when you burn it. And then I was looking more into recycling. I was like, well, wait a minute. What about glass recycling? And did you know glass recycling has the same scam? It turns out that no company actually recycles glass either. Same thing. They just smash it and pulverize it and bury it. I don't even know if they smash it, hopefully. And they said they technically... Shut up, phone! It was like, technically, there is one program for glass that actually is doing something, and there's only one. And it's the beer bottle one. Well, it used to be pop bottles. But how that one works is technically they don't smash the bottles down. They just throw it in a dishwasher and then reuse it. And they put a little notch on the bottom to show how many times someone else has drank out of the same beer bottle. So if you flip your beer bottle upside down, you see all those notches on the bottom. If you only have one or two, that's probably pretty good. So that means like only a couple people have been using it as a glass before. But if you got like 4 or 5 on there, man, there's a lot of people that have been sucking on that. And then the only thing they did was like throw it in a dishwasher. That's why I kind of worry when you see someone piss in a beer bottle. It's like, oh fuck, please don't return that one. I don't want to get stuck drinking out of a bottle that someone pissed in and they just rinsed it out. Yeah, so technically the glass thing, yeah, there is some, well, that's not even really recycling though, that's reusing, right? So the one good thing that Canada switched in our education programs, I heard that they were mandated to take out the recycling. So when they teach kids the 3 R's, what was it, recycle, reuse, and something else, reduce? Now it's the 2 R's, reduce and reuse. They don't add in the recycle anymore because we've realized that that was a whole scam. You know what's the weirdest thing too? My city where I live, like Kitchener, it's a former German super colony where it's like all the Germans that came over to Canada or North America built this like fucking giant super city. And it was like a paradise for German people to live for quite a while. And we were the ones that invented the recycling program. If you use a blue box anywhere in the world, well, you found one blood of the gods. I've never heard of that before. That was kind of neat. Yeah, so if you've ever used a Blue Blocks program, you can thank my city. If you got tricked into recycling by the Nazis. Now, I shouldn't make fun of the recycling programs. Maybe someone one day will find a way to make recycling actually possible. But they said what the problem was, is you just compared the costs. They said if you wanted to make a plastic bottle from scratch, it would say cost half a penny. And then if you wanted to recycle a plastic bottle and then make it into a new one, you're looking at like 20 cents a bottle. So it's like not even close. It's like 20 times the price. So technically any business that has profits in mind will not recycle. And have you ever heard about Tesla and he's got that rocket program? And how he reuses those rockets and like, oh right, this is saving money and making space travel more affordable. Tesla admitted that every rocket that they reuse actually cost triple the cost as if they would have just built it again from scratch. And the same reason, he says they got to retrofit it. They said they got to clean it, then they got to fix it. And they said the cleaning and fixing process is way more expensive than just building it again from scratch. So even his recycling program or whatever is a scam. I didn't hear, did he say that he was actually going ahead with reusing them? Or does he just scrap them and build new ones? I don't know. Maybe he's doing like the thing where he's willing to lose money and just fucking... I wish I had the mission thing up so I could see it. There we go. That'll make it a little easier. So, sorry to burst anyone's bubble who love to think that they're doing the right thing by recycling and not creating waste. Sorry. The good intentions backfired. Yeah, I was just thinking about other media scams that I've seen over the years, and it kind of reminded me of Milli Vanilli. I don't know, probably a lot of the viewers, well, maybe the viewers of this show. I was thinking my Clone Evolution viewers are usually between the ages of like 16 and 20, or maybe 24, I think YouTube said. So a lot of the people on that group are like super young, and they won't really be able to relate to anything that from the 80s or anything, or even the 90s. But yeah, back in the 80s, well, late 80s, early 90s, there was this band from Germany that came over to America, and they were like this pop band called Milli Vanilli, and they started releasing music videos on Much Music, and they ended up winning like a Grammy and everything, right? And then what happened was, I think one of the Grammy performances, they were asked to perform live, and then everyone realized that it wasn't them singing. That this whole time we were scammed into thinking this band was so good. Turns out the singers weren't even the singers. They were just lip syncing the whole time. I think it went on from 88 till 91 or something, so it was a scam that went on for quite a few years. And then I was just thinking like, man, the media has like done that so many times in history, where they'll just lie their faces off and people buy into it, right? Even for years. And not even small lies, like fucking huge lies. You can win a Grammy lie. Now I felt bad actually when I was watching the documentary about Milli Vanilli yesterday, or it wasn't a documentary I watched, I was reading it. And then, yeah, I found out what happened to them is what, they were an actual band, and they got signed to a record label, but what happened was the record label had it in their contract that they could make changes if they deemed fit. And then they banned the band from even singing. They said that, they didn't like their voice, they're going to swap it out with someone else. And they said that the people that signed the contract, like these guys, the singers, they actually had no way to fight it because they had already signed the contract and it allowed for changes, so they just had to go along with it. Can you imagine it? So yeah, that was kind of a weird thing. Oh yeah, and the saddest part of the story is after those guys' contract was over with the record company, like 10 years later or whatever, well, what happened was after they got caught, everyone just ditched them. No one was buying their music anymore, no one played the music videos, they just like dropped off the face of the earth and became a bit of a joke. So the band said, hey, they're not giving up. After their fucking contract expired with the record company, they relaunched the band and used their real voices. And I think, what was it? They recorded a song, and it was supposed to launch, and it happened just before the launch. One of the guys from the band, like one of the singers, he got caught up in too much partying, and he fucking got a really bad drug addiction. And they said the drug addiction got so bad that he started robbing places to try to get the money to get more drugs, which is surprising, because he should have been extremely wealthy from after winning those Grammys and selling all those maybe the record company got most of the money. Maybe that's what it was. Or he blew it all on drugs. But anyways, so he ended up in jail. So what the guy did, like his other band member, because the album was launching that week, he went out and bailed the guy out of jail, right? He's like, come on, man, the album's launching this week. I'm gonna bail you out of jail. Try to fucking stay off the drugs. So he bails him out of jail. the day the album launched, the fucking guy got more drugs and overdosed. So he ended up dying. It's like, man, what a shame, right? I think he was only 34 or something too. I was like, geez, so young. Man, those rocks are hard to find. Can't believe I saw those. Like camouflage. I don't know how many other ones I probably stepped over and didn't even see it. Alright, let's get a quick message from the sponsor and then I'll check out that blood shit and see what it's like. It sounds pretty cool. Maybe it has a markup or it's probably useless. We'll find out in a minute. Today's God Blood is brought to you by Crack! Crack! It'll fuck you up. Woo! Oh, excuse me. Now guys, I won't bother with the weight loss showing thing today because I'm still at the same. It didn't change at all. It was kind of funny because I was worried it went up. And then after I went to the washroom this morning, canceled it out, went right back to the same. So I was like, alright. Didn't change at all. I figured out maybe instead of doing daily updates, I'll just do it when it changes. Or maybe I'll go back to the daily updates, but man, there's so much action in this episode happening. I want to see what happens next. Alright, here's the blood of the gods. Isn't it funny that I was talking about the gods and immortality today, and that's the item I found? Doing things in reverse again. Alright, this stuff has no markup. Isn't that cool? So I won't be able to see how much it's worth. If anyone in the chat knows how much Blood of the God is worth, if you could help me out by giving me a rough idea of what you can sell it for. Maybe someone wants to buy it. If anyone in the chat wants to buy it, just let me know. I've got one for sale. I think what I'll do is when I swing by the sweat area, I'll ask them, I'll be like, hey guys, is Blood of the Gods worth anything? I have mined here quite a bit, and you can see I didn't find it until today. Now, that's why I'm very skeptical too. Every time the media is trying to push some idea on the news, I'm like, is this the next Milli Vanilli? Are they making everything up again and gonna try to fucking drag it on for years? Oh, some Mysterium. Number 2 find. Maybe with this finder I can hit a level 3 find. That'd be sweet. I can't remember, did I tell you guys the John McAfee story or was it the other channel? I don't want to tell the story twice, so maybe I'll wait and check. Now, I guess I'll just summarize the story quick, in case anyone already heard it, but we got a new viewer. John McAfee was like this really smart computer genius back in the day. He discovered that he could make antivirus software stop viruses from infecting your computer, right? But then technically, his ability to do that was kind of a little bit iffy because they're saying what happened. Well, not many people are saying this, mainly just me. But what happens if John McAfee was the one who actually created the computer viruses and then sold the software to destroy them or block them? Because I was thinking that's more likely, right? Like if you're able to stop a virus, chances are you were the ones that made it. So what happened is John has a best friend, and his best friend is Bill Gates. So they teamed up, and Bill Gates is like, yeah, you can include the fucking money for your, he'll include the McAfee antivirus software, put it on every copy of Windows, and they can work together to make everyone keep paying John lots of money to help stop the viruses that he created. So I was like, isn't that cool? One clue that John created the viruses is most of them came in from porn sites, and John is a raging porn addict. Not that most people aren't these days. But anyways, not that I am. Swear I'm watching Girls Gone Wild and that's it. Anyways, Yeah, so John had that little issue going. And I was thinking, isn't it weird, eh? It's like how Bill Gates, years later, he got into the virus stuff again, but this time it's real viruses. And he's selling the cure to them. Does that kind of make you wonder? It's like, hey, did you happen to get this idea from your buddy John? Are you pulling the same scam again? No, and the weirdest part too is, oh, there's some more fruit, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's an exciting episode. Blood of the Gods, fruit, rock, fucking Listerium. What's next, global? Doubt that. But anyway, yeah, I don't even think it's possible with this finder. Thought I saw more fruit there for a second, but I think I just hallucinated. Yeah. No, I noticed I get little hallucinations from watching the screen move too long. It like causes like optical illusion. So I'm like, fuck, sometimes I see like a rock that isn't there. Alright, we're almost halfway to the probes dropped and the show's almost done, so fuck man, I gotta speed this shit up. I want to see what blueprint I get. That's what I was thinking, I actually like Next Island almost a little bit better than Rocktropia these days, just because of this daily mining mission. Like, I haven't really done much mining ever in the game before because it wasn't profitable. But now that it is on this planet, it's like it's tempting to keep coming back here and doing it. And it's a little bit more exciting to mix it up, so not always just looking for barrels of oil, not always just hunting the AI. Can come here and do some pretty cool mining. And sure, this finder isn't really going to make me rich or anything, but it is kind of neat not to go in the hole every time you use it. And I hadn't seen any posts from Ken in a while, and I noticed he posts some on Facebook today. I keep thinking I gotta watch his fucking stream sometimes. I want to get him as a guest on the show sometime, because he's pretty cool. Like, I know some people give him a hard time because he's like a little bit outgoing or cocky or whatever, but it's kind of nice for a change. It's like I often hang out with too many white people that are always so fucking lame. It's nice to see some people that are more bold. I don't know, you ever notice like a lot of your white friends always act like Ned Flanders? Like, geez, wouldn't you like to hang out with some people that are more exciting? I think that's probably how I got into hanging out with gangs. Now, I used to hang out and party with some Spanish gangs. Man, were they fun to party with. Hottest babes. Best drugs. The only time it went downhill is when they ended up robbing me. But even after they robbed me, we ended up making up again. I just learned that you never like tempt gangs too much to rob you, like showing them where you got a whole bunch of stuff, and or else they won't be able to resist robbing you. It's like if you have a good friend that's a kleptomaniac, it's like you just don't leave stuff around that they're gonna steal. Well, Listerium, but it's a small size. Now, I like some of Ken's investment ideas too. Everyone's giving him a hard time about it, but I was like, hey, at least he's coming up with some neat ideas. Sure, it's not one I liked a lot, but hey, it's an idea nonetheless. A lot of times in Entropia, we just get caught up doing the same things over and over, like he said, that could use a little bit of fresh blood in the game with some new ideas. Is he the greatest thing that's come to Entropia's streaming community in a long time? I guess that's debatable. I haven't actually seen the show yet, but... No, I think Ken was saying that he's from Toronto too, so I was like, hey, maybe we could hang out and play some Entropia together someday, if I could ever, or if the lockdown shit's ever over. I get the feeling the government's going to try to stretch it on for decades if they can. Yeah, because there's a few countries now, I didn't even know. Sweden wasn't the only one. There's a few that didn't lock down, and they're all already back to their old normals. The only countries that are still suffering are the ones that put Karens in charge and allowed them to think that they could save us from getting sick. Imagine someone told you that they could save you from ever catching the common cold again, and all you had to do is stay inside your house all the time and wear masks. Be like, fuck that, man. The common cold. Like, everyone's going, oh, the virus is way worse than the cold. Yeah, well, obviously. But still, it's like, come on, we need our lives. Just because people are dying, we can't shut down fucking society. People have always been dying. There'll be more plagues. We can't fucking just shut down our society because we're worried we could die. We're all gonna die one day, right? Could be any day. You could die in a car accident tomorrow. You never know, right? Nope. Now, I've been liking this mining area for one reason. It's a lot easier to mine here without constantly getting attacked by shit, right? I like having areas like that. The only thing, I guess, on the downside of that, sometimes when you mine near some really strong enemies, there tends to be bigger finds near them. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. You can put it in the chats. Sometimes what I would do is when I go to hell and I would do some mining, I would go into hell to the area that has the strongest creatures, like level 100s or whatever. And then what I would do is drop a probe right on the edge so that they couldn't actually run and attack me still. Well, they could, but I'd stay far enough away. But I could still drop the probe in a somewhat region where they are. And I noticed I was getting a little bit better returns. The only reason I stopped doing it is occasionally they would start attacking me while I'm trying to harvest it, and it makes it annoying. You can tell when I get annoyed, I fucking lose my temper pretty quick. Well, not physically, but yelling. Whoa, the rookie Terrormaster is almost done its condition. That's good. Now what I want to do is tier it up again. I haven't tried the new tiering system since they changed it. I'm hoping it's cheaper. You know what, this tier thing, like I'll show you guys my finder. If anyone hasn't seen it before, I think I covered on other episodes. I already tiered it up twice. And what I did that for is you can add depth enhancers. So if I add 2 depth enhancers here, I'm already going deeper than the probes or the finders that cost 10 probes per drop. So I was trying to calculate it. I'm like, is the finder, like the enhancers, breaking fast enough that it actually works out to being costing more? But I still found it neat where I could just drop a few enhancers on it. Next thing I know, my fucking rookie finder's reaching the depth that all the other ones are. Well, not all of them, but some of the like the medium finders. But the one problem I was having with it is every time you go to upgrade this finder, like to the next tier, it was costing me a fortune. I think I paid like 500 pet in materials to upgrade it once. Oh, a tiny Listerium, but a 2. That's good. Yeah, this ain't bad. If you need Listerium, this is a pretty decent area. Yeah, so if anyone wants some Listerium to finish that daily Lesser Elijah run, maybe you want to check out the area I just did, or like wait a while and then check it out because there'll probably be not as much here anymore because I took it all. Ah, fuck, man. I was hoping the 2 would give me a couple draws, but still no. I'll drop another probe close to it just in case there was a vein. I don't know if they did that in Entropia. Some people are saying you could find a vein and then like trace where the vein is going and follow its direction. That's how real mining works. Like actually the abandoned haunted house that I own up north, or condemned I should say, condemned and abandoned, it's on the verge of collapse. I should probably insure it. So if it collapses, maybe I'll get something. Or if someone dies in the collapse, I won't go to jail. No one's living in it obviously. Oh, here's some fruit. Oh, Listerium too. So maybe there is a vein near here. No, so the house that I own up north, it's on a vein of gold. and it's actually the world's biggest and best vein. You know, it's weird, like I always heard Africa and like the Congo or maybe California had the best gold in the world, or Alaska, but it turns out where my house is the number one, or no, it's the second best in the world. So I was like, holy shit, my house is on the second best fucking gold mine in the entire world. And how that works is, oh, got the wrong tool equipped. They call it the 20 miles of gold. And what happened was when the early explorers came, and it happened to be the Swastika mining company. And that has a lot to do with the connections to my ancient mystery research, but I won't get into it too much on this show. Now, there's a lot of fucking history about the swastika people don't know, because the Nazis sort of fucking ruined the symbol for everyone. It's like ancient Tibetan people used to use it, the First Nations people still use it. Actually, a buddy of mine, Kevin Najawan, or a friend, he was telling me that he actually got his account banned and terminated from Facebook because he was sharing the history of the swastika from his culture. I think, is he Ojibwe? I can't remember. Yeah, I think he's Ojibwe. So yeah, can you believe that? First Nations people aren't even allowed to share their own history because it has the swastika in it. I was like, that's pretty fucked up. Like, I could see if you want to give German people a hard time about it, but to also give the natives a hard time about it, that's fucked. So anyways, he created, well, I shouldn't say what happened in that. I don't want to get in any trouble. No, but he still helps me out with some of the ancient mystery research. Man, the First Nations people, like, people don't give them enough credit. Like, when it comes to recorded history, everyone makes fun of the natives because they're like, oh, you guys didn't have a written language and you fucking Europeans had to teach you how to read and write and stuff. But what it was is they had the oral traditions, and man, their oral traditions preserve the ancient mystery secrets better than any written records I've heard. And I was trying to figure out why that is. And then I was thinking maybe it's because, like, when you're telling a story, I don't know, what would it be? Like, I guess they're just more open and honest about it, whereas when you write something down, maybe it's easier to, like, change the writing or cover it up or suppress it. But if it's just like a story that everyone knows, then you can't really hide it as easily. Yeah, that's like if it was in a book, you could hide it away from people. But if it's like a story that everyone knows, then it's harder to cover it up. Yeah, so I guess that's what happened when the Nazis and stuff came over to North America. They realized that all the ancient mystery secrets were, the clues were easier to decipher here than anywhere else, because the natives had the best recording, or the best versions on still left. Yeah, so big thanks to all the Ojibwe, Algonquin, and all the other peoples that managed to share some of their history. I know the ones that do share it often get reamed out because they're not allowed to share it according to some other people. Because in the old days, they used to use their history and traditions and stuff and trade it as money. So it's like if you could tell someone a legend or something, or history, then they would give you a fur in exchange. So it's kind of like ruining their whole fucking economy if you just tell everyone everything. So that's why I feel bad about telling a lot of this stuff, but on the other hand, there is a lot of people that are saying, hey, that old way of trading fucking money and currency is long dead, so we should really just start sharing our history and before it's all forgotten. Because who knows, I bet you, oh, I thought it said a 3 for a sec. I was like, yeah, 3! Yeah, because those oral traditions aren't getting shared like they used to. So it's like, man, if that all dies out, we will have lost the best knowledge ever remembered. And that'd be a crying shame, I think. It's like, hey, we should all get into the home of the immortals. Screw them. We'll kick the doors down, right? I need 5 more drops. Is my finder going to last, or will it run out of TT value? The excitement. Yeah, so if someone ever goes to church and stuff and they're trying to figure out like what are all these symbols and stuff that the church is talking about, like the Alpha to Omega and shit like that, turns out native history is one of the best to decipher it. How ironic is that, right? How the church tried to suppress the native history for so long. I wonder if that's why, right? Like, they started to realize that the natives had the clues to the church's biggest mysteries. Yeah, what do you think? If you were in charge of the Home of the Immortals and it was so full, would you block normal people from getting in? Or maybe there's some sort of new solution. Maybe that's what mankind's destiny is. We're supposed to try to maybe make or create a new home for the Immortals so that it's not so full anymore. A bigger one, bigger and better. One that you can actually communicate back and forth to the living. That'd be pretty sweet. You know, that's what I talked to my one friend about. He's like, everything in heaven is perfect. I'm like, okay, if it's so perfect, how can I communicate with someone? Oh, we don't even have basic communication. It's like, I guess it's not so perfect after all, is it? No, in defense of that, some of the ancient texts are pretty clear that here on Earth is like Sim City for how fast we age compared to how fast the Immortals timeline ages. They said, what is it? We experience 1,000 days for every 1 day in the Immortals realm. So it's like, what they could do is like, the Immortals could come visit the Earth, come back the next day, and 1,000 years will have already passed here. So that's why I think maybe communication skills would be difficult because of the time differential, right? How would you communicate with someone if the time is so that much drastically different? That's why I like the universe simulation theory, because a lot of the way our world and the Immortals world is working, it almost seems like we are built as like a biological simulation. Not that you should treat it like a simulation, it's still the only game in town, so you gotta be careful, right? It's like, oh, it's just a simulation. I'll drink a bottle of booze, or drink a whole bottle of vodka. It's like, no, you probably shouldn't do that, because you could still die. And you probably won't get into the Home of Immortals if you're fucking wasted. Right, the stereo. You know, one of my favorite sources for the text about the Home of the Immortals comes from the ancient Irish. It's like they actually had a lot to do with the ancient history stuff too. The Roman Catholic Church kind of suppressed a lot of the Irish stuff because they were fighting. But, yeah, they talk about the Immortals all the time too. And they got the one story about how a guy managed to get into the Home of the Immortals. I don't know if he transformed into a light being first. I would assume he did, or else he wouldn't even been able to reach the Home of the Immortals. But when he got to the gate, and he's like, hey guys, can you let me into the Home of the Immortals? They said no. And he's like, why? And they're like, oh, I completed the mission. Sweet, I was wondering what's happening. Okay, that was weird. They're offering me the reward right here. I guess that happened last time, I just didn't realize. Okay, this is the one problem. It's like, I don't want either bikini print. I already tested those. The Belfry hat, I think I don't have that one, and I don't have the texture one either. So maybe I'll get the texture one just to see what it's like. The face mask is worth a lot, so I probably should pick it, but let's try the texture. Alright, let's check out this new print that I've never had before. Basic leather and Daramore skin. I've never heard of that, so I'll have to check the crafting terminal and see what it's all about. Oh yeah. 31,000. I think if it's 40,000, that makes it worth 5 ped. So I might be able to sell this for 5 ped, plus all the mining loot I got. And I had 6 ped probes. Let's see how many probes I got left. 1 ped. So I used 5 ped right on the button. That wasn't so bad, eh? Oh, not a moment to spare. Show's just over. Right, so look at the haul items we got today's episode. Holy shit. We got 23 sulfur. 23 Nisset. Hey, it's the Jordan number twice. Papillon. 73, Bombardo 54, 120 Sweat, well I guess that was from yesterday, and Blood of the Gods. Not only that, but then I got all the loot from the mining. 60 peck worth of Frugilite Stone, 60 peck worth of Zinc, yeah 60's popular, 52 peck worth of Belker, ooh, and 272 worth of Listerium. So that was a pretty decent haul for loot today, I think. What do you guys think about that crap or mining run? Was it okay? Would you try it, or was it a waste of time? Probably gonna deposit thousands of ped and go shoot some giant mobs. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Every time I teleport here, they send me to a shitty location. Oh fuck, look how far they put me. Jeez. Right, looks like I'm gonna have to run back. Well, we'll just end the episode here then. I was gonna show you guys what the details on that blueprint were, but it's gonna take me too much time to walk all the way back to the teleporter. I'll have to do that end the show, and I don't want to fly back because then I'm just wasting oil. And I try to keep my expenses as low as possible. People are probably gonna laugh that it probably burns like 1 peck of oil to get there, but it's just the principle of it. And if the game wants to improve it, well, maybe there's another teleporter over here. I'll try walking over there and see if I can find one. Alright, so thanks for watching the show, everyone. Hey, if you want to help out, you can join the Patreon. It's I've got some people in there already helping. One, see, you can try to avoid saying that I have one patron, but no, I appreciate the one patron. And Society 6, Swagbucks, GameKit, Hideout, and Bitcoin. If you guys want to help out with that, that's really sweet too. A lot of those things can help you out too. Yeah, I almost forgot. If I'm talking about Bitcoin, I should at least do the spin. Now, and I found out what happened with the big lag issues. What is it? OBS realized that they made a patch fix in the last patch that was creating the lag, and they're trying to resolve it. They said they had it resolved, but I think it's still a little bit of an issue. So I was like, fuck man, I just switched from the other software to get rid of that lag, came over to OBS because they didn't have it, and now they're starting to add the lag. But anyways, 32,498, let's roll. Boom, 32,517. Woohoo! Right, so big thanks to everyone who's helping out with that. What else is there? Yeah, you can see that a lot of these offers not only help me, but they help you, because you can be raking in the Bitcoin too. Just hope that John McAfee situation doesn't occur again. No, what happened was John McAfee was rigging the price of Bitcoin. He said he went and did interviews to all of his investors, telling them that he would cut off his own dick and eat it on live television if Bitcoin didn't reach 1 million for each coin in 3 years. So then he got a whole trick to a whole ton of investors to just pump money into Bitcoin, thinking that it was going to reach 1 million each. But after the 3 years passed and it never happened, and they were like, okay, John, time to hold up your end of the bargain. And guess what he said? He's like, oh, just kidding, guys. He's like, I was just doing that to raise the price. So can you imagine? So hopefully the Bitcoin scams don't continue. Or if they do, that it does make it reach 1 million and we all get rich. I'm just kidding. Now, getting rich off a scam isn't the way I'd want to get rich, but anyways, yeah, so let's continue. The virtual maid sex machine is for adults and men only, but if ladies need one, they know who to call if they want to be disappointed. Anyways, yeah, what else was there? The Entropia zine, the magazine, and Raven Jade, the coolest vampire in Entropia. She's got, I got a link to her store in the links below. Just hit the more information button. Oh yeah, if you happen to get the blood of the gods in your vaporizer and it tastes like nasty, then give the show a dislike. Or if you don't like it, give it a dislike too and try to add some reasons why. Don't keep me guessing. And then what else was there? Oh yeah, make sure you never buy the products from my sponsor, because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you tomorrow, God willing. Remember, despite being a simulation, it's the only one we got. Here's 3 things. Bye.